So we both agree that if the Niners do the right thing and don't take Mac Jones at 3, he could really drop. So, okay, let's say he drops to 20-something. And let's say the Niners take Kyle Pitts at 3 or Penei Sewell, a non-quarterback, and Mac Jones is dropping past the Patriots, past Washington football team, 20, 24, 28. Do the Niners make a move up and get him? I mean, they have the second-round pick, the third-round pick, Jimmy Garoppolo. They have some ammunition. Do you think if they pass on Mac Jones at 3 and he falls into the 20s, that could be the ace up their sleeve? They go up and get him there.
They could. I just don't.
You don't even like that.
If they made this trade, they're doing it for a quarterback. I think the thing with quarterbacks, it's like you pretty much you don't. There's a limit on guys that you really like, and I think that they have an idea of someone who they like. It's like you don't. They're not going to pass on. They're not going to try to play games with the draft board. Like if the guy's there that they like at number 3, they're going to take him.
And they basically said there's 3 guys in the quarterback in this draft that they like, right? And they at number 3, you're guaranteed one of them. That's what they said.
Yeah. And that's limited, I think, because I don't think in most drafts that teams are, we'd love 3 quarterbacks in the draft. I just I think if the Niners did that, I mean, I would rather, if they were going to do that, I'd rather them trade back into the first and get Kellen Mond. That's
me too, absolutely. But I'm just okay. Like, let's take Mac Jones out of it now, because forget neither of us really like Mac Jones that much. He's fine. Let's say they do the unthinkable. They don't take a quarterback at 3, and then you have so many good options after. That's why I love this option. You could do Mac Jones if he drops, or you could target Kellen Mond, or a lot of people like Davis Mills, a lot of people like Kyle Trask. 4 guys that are intriguing. Pick one that you like, as opposed to one of the 4 at the top of the board that are
and
arguably the same.
If they did do that, I mean, I would definitely take Sewell over Pitts. I think just because
interesting.
Sewell plays a premium position.
That's true.
You got quarterback, and then you've got pass rusher, pass protector. I mean, think about it in this way, like the value as you get later in the draft. Like I'm more likely to find a tight end that can do something close, relatively close to something that Pitt does. You're probably not going to find an offensive tackle that's going to do something relative close to what Sewell. I mean,
that's interesting. I look at it differently. I look at like Sewell being great at a premium position. I look Pitts being like generational. I don't think there's been a prospect tight end to come out of college like him in 25 years. I can't remember one.
He's definitely phenomenal, but I just don't value receiving anything.
Fair. Now, we've talked a lot about how the middle of the field is wide open. I feel like the reason you're seeing guys like Kelsey and Kittle lead the league in receiving is because of that. And this is a guy who could be the next really, take advantage of that.
He could.
Yeah. But Sewell's great too. I mean, what I keep saying about Sewell is he would go number 1 a lot of years. Number 1. If there wasn't a Trevor Lawrence. And he could go number 1 this year if there wasn't a Trevor Lawrence. So that would be a solid pick. If the Niners have Trent Williams and Penei Sewell in the same line, I swear Jimmy Garoppolo could play well. He could do it.
It wouldn't be that terrible to say, hey, like, Sewell, you're going to learn under Trent Williams. Trent, we know you got a couple years after that. We'll swap Sewell over to left tackle. McGlinchey, you'll go to the Colts. Thanks.
If you put Jimmy Garoppolo behind Sewell and Williams and give him the weapons that were all hurt last year, how could he miss? How could he lose? Same with Josh Rosen. I really think – I know you feel like you need a Hall of Fame quarterback. I know you do. But the Niners are so close to assembling like a Hall of Fame supporting cast, and I think that's valuable too. I mean, it's right there for them if they want it. It's right there.
I think they need a top 10 quarterback to win a Super Bowl. I think they need a top 10 quarterback to win. They can win 10, 11 games and make the playoffs with a Jimmy Garoppolo or something along that mid-tier level. All
I'm saying is like Matt Ryan isn't always a top 10 quarterback. I mean, like some years he feels like he's top 5, and other years he feels like he's outside. And the difference is what he's working with that year, his teammates, basically, my opinion.
Yeah, he's defensively.
Chad says, if Alex Smith sat behind a Hall of Famer, then we would be saying the same about A-Rod. Aaron Rodgers' ego is too big for Nolan and Singletary. Well, now we're going way deep into history. Yeah, there's probably something to that. He rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. I know my dad didn't really like him, He was a Cal. My dad was covering him, and
Yeah, the other thing people forget about the whole Rodgers thing, and
yeah,
it's something that if I was a field supporter, which I'm not, if I was a field supporter, I would bring up is that people didn't like Rodgers. One of the big reasons was he was a Jeff Tedford guy, and all these Jeff Tedford quarterbacks had failed. Achilles Smith, Joey Harrington,
Trent Dilfer. Did he count? I think Tedford was at Florida State, Fresno State for that.
Personality,
and then David Carr.
Yeah, personality side, that was a big thing with
huge. Kyle Bowler. Kyle Bowler had just busted.
Right.
Yes.
So, like, that's what I would bring up.
Plus, he held the ball in his ear.
Yeah.
He put the tip of the ball in his ear like he was listening to a conch shell. It was crazy.
Those are the things like I think we've talked about in our cast before. It's like, what can you correct, and then what can you, and then what?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're both in favor of this. I love one by one bringing people onto my show and getting them to be like, well, it actually would make sense to take someone other than a quarterback. It wouldn't be. I mean, I get it. I understand no one really thinks it's going to happen, but maybe if I can get Kyle Shanahan on the show, I can get him to be like, you know what? Actually, it's not a bad idea.
I'm not necessarily in favor. I would tell you if they kept the 12, I would have been a big proponent of them moving back and maybe getting monitored. At this point, I think they got to get it.
But who do you want to take it 3 though?
I'm going under the assumption that Wilson is going to go 2.
Okay.
In which case, I would go Trey Lance.
Okay. You're not a big Fields guy, are you?
No, although I wouldn't I'm not going to break my TV if drafted 3 or anything. I think the one thing I probably would have said, I would be upset if they take Mac Jones at 3. I wouldn't be a big fan of that.
I hope they take Mac Jones because I just want to see the Niner fans get upset.
I think your perfect draft would be the Jets. The Jets take Justin Fields, and then they go nuts. They go nuts because they passed on Zach Wilson, and then the Niners take Mac Jones.
Oh, that would be so good, so good. But we can only hope.